My name is Claire Colwell, and I am 22 years old. I'm from Austin, Texas, and I'm adopted, and I know personally what adoption can do for a child and a family. I decided I was going to search for my birth mother. So I met her, and that night she told me something that changed my life forever. She told me that she was 13 when she became pregnant with me, and her mom took her to an abortion clinic, and she didn't know she had choices, and so she went through with the abortion. A few weeks later, she realized that her belly was still growing, and so she went back to the abortion clinic, and they told her, "You're still pregnant." And so by that time, she was too far along to have an abortion at that clinic. Her mother decided to drop her off at the adoption agency. You know, when I was born, I weighed 3 pounds, 2 ounces. My hips were dislocated. My feet were club feet, so they were turned in, and I had to be on life support. And my parents couldn't pick me up until that 2.5 months was over. God was faithful because they were praying for that baby while the abortions were trying to take my life. While my birth mother didn't choose to give me life, she still gave me what I like to call the greatest gift I've ever received. And that's the gift of my family through adoption.
32 years ago, my biological mother, a 19-year-old college student, got pregnant out of wedlock. I'm not sure that I will ever truly know what she thought or how she felt about her pregnancy. I'm not sure that I will ever know how other people or the culture of the time impacted these thoughts and feelings, and her subsequent decision regarding her pregnancy. What I do know, however, is that in the late summer of 1977, her life, my life, the lives of my biological father and their families were forever changed. When my biological mother was around 6 months pregnant, she underwent a saline infusion abortion. Throughout the course of a 5-day period, I endured the deliverance of the saline solution into the fluid around me. I breathed it in through my nose and mouth, while numerous rounds of Pitocin were delivered to my mother to induce labor and ultimately dispel my dead body from her womb. When I was delivered in bed by a nurse that 5th day, I was believed to be dead. Weighing a little over 2 pounds, suffering from jaundice and severe respiratory distress, my future appeared to be bleak, but I was alive. Doctors believed I would likely grow up to be disabled, if I even lived at all. My biological parents put me up for adoption soon after my birth. My adoptive parents wanted me, took a chance on me. They loved me unconditionally, despite what the future might hold. I was always proud to know that I was adopted. Words cannot express how much I really love and respect my adoptive parents. During my teenage years, I learned that I was not born, but in fact had survived a lethal attempt on my life. Since then, my life was never the same. I had a lot of support from my family and community, but on the inside, I was hurting. I struggled with strong feelings of guilt for being physically, mentally, and emotionally alive and well. I spent well over 10 years of my life attempting to obtain my medical records, so I would know the truth about the abortion attempt and my survival. I could not come forward until I had made some type of contact with my biological parents to let them know that I was alive and well, and that I forgave them for the decision that was made to end my life. Just when I thought that I couldn't go on any further, God always opened another door and instilled me with hope and the energy to continue on. It has only been in the last 2 years that I have come forward publicly to share my story with the world. Part of that was due to my own personal struggles and feelings, being ashamed and embarrassed. I believe that my life was saved for a reason, and I am proud today to say that I am a survivor. I am proud to say that I am fulfilling the purpose that God set out for me. And I am proud to say that I am a good daughter, sister, wife, and most of all, mother. You see, my daughter Olivia was born on April 26, 2008, at the very same hospital where my life was meant to end. That very building that once brought such pain and suffering has now been transformed to a building that holds the happiest memory of my life. Olivia has been the last and most important piece of my healing process. The most precious gift is to be her mother. The cycle of pain and suffering ends with me.
Bébé, tu dors, tu es dans tes songes, à quoi tu songes là?
My biological mother, my parents were both 17, and my biological mother decided to have a saline abortion, which burns a baby inside and out, and then she used to deliver a dead baby within 24 hours. And so after 18 hours of literally being burned alive in my mother's womb, I was delivered alive. I should be blind and burned and obviously not here because my medical records state on them born during saline abortion. So the Lord, when your father and your mother forsake you, the Lord will take you up.
You have not had a relationship with your biological mother at all, have you?
No, but we did meet last year.
For the first time? You're 30 years of age and you just met last year. How did it happen?
I say this carefully and also mindful of the many women that will be listening who have had abortions, who find it difficult to listen to this broadcast today. I have forgiven my biological mother, and I think that's important for those women to hear.
Are those words, or do you mean it?
No, I do. I do mean it, yeah. But I was subjected to a very horrendous experience last year. I was speaking to a bunch of kids, and I had spoken all day, and I was greeting people at the end, and it was at the very end that a woman came up and said, "I am your mother," and basically deal with it. And you,
shock.
I mean,
You had no preparation for it at all. Did she hug you?
Actually, she just was filled with rage and hate. And I immediately began to pray, and in my head. And I said, "You must need to hear me tell you that I forgive you for what you have done. I am a Christian." And didn't want forgiveness. I said, and just scream. I can't even remember all the words. Just so much hate.
Gianna, can you, in some ways, look inside of her and realize that hate has a cause, has a source?
Yes.
Inside. She has been wounded by life herself.
Right.
If we could have followed her through her journey, we probably would understand, not excuse, but understand the pain that she has been through.
Yes, but I think the thing that I felt the most was still such a level of disrespect for my very life.
At one point in your past, the law said you could be killed in a brutal way. And everyone involved with you wanted that to happen. And you survived. You are one unusual lady. And here you sit, 30 years later, with a smile on your face, testifying to the love of Christ.
But for just a brief moment, I would like to speak directly to the men in this room and do something that is never done. Men, you are made for greatness. You are made to stand up and be men. You are made to defend women and children, not stand by and turn your head when you know murder is occurring and do nothing about it. You are not made to use women and leave us alone. You are made to be kind and great and gracious and strong and stand for something. Because men, listen to me, I am too tired to do your job.